it's their intrinsic
nature. This food basically robs.
Sound feasible, sound like.
So what did he do? He built his own golf course, and now he teaches black kids how to play golf. They have whole programs and stuff like that. And I was reading another thing, how when he won this lawsuit, Michael Jordan, I think it was like 20 million that he won, and he donated the whole lawsuit, all the money, to South Chicago, the schools and everything, helping the schools out, helping the black community out. So stuff like this we don't read about, we don't see. I never knew Floyd Mayweather donated to charities at all, not 1 cent. And I was shocked to read about this stuff. But as I said, it's not about these people. It's about the image, and we must protect that image of successful black people. We have to start to build to where the wealth gap is not so big. You know, us versus white people. They call us minority for a reason. And it's a lot of reasons for that. But to be called something minor as a people is crazy. And when the news say stuff like that, when we call minorities, we should all stand up and say, don't fucking call me that. This is some bullshit, a minority. When black people say, and I know this happens a lot, and sometimes it's a good thing, but I hate that saying when people say the first black person, or, oh yeah, he was the first black person to do this, or she was the first black woman to do that, as if, you know, we handicapped. As if we are retarded and it's something major when we do something, when we accomplish something. And, you know, that's crazy to me, because you don't hear people say, well, yeah, it's the first white man to do this, or the first white person to do that. I mean, saying, it's like, you know, it's a compliment and an insult at the same time when they say the first black, or the first African American. And I know that, we should celebrate that. We should separate, us from them in terms of accomplishments, since we have so much against us. That's fine. But when we say it in that way, the first black or the first African American, I mean, it's almost an insult, instead of us just simply saying that, you know, this African American brother built this or did that or graduated from this school. That's enough said. That's enough said. He's African American. He graduated from Harvard, or top of his class, or highest GPA in this. Instead, you know, the first black, it's like, oh, come on. Like, we can't all do this. And in some cases, it's just degrading, and it's like, come on. But I hope this video really wake people up and start to think about the economic situation in the black community, because really right now there's none. We give them our money, they give us nothing. You know, we buy, they sell. Nothing stimulates the economy in the black community. Nothing helps our kids go to college more. We instead put their kids through college. And things like this has to stop, or else the black community is going to stay in the position that it's in. They are tearing down what used to be projects and putting up houses that black folks can't afford. And sooner or later, they're going to price us out of certain locations that have now become, you know, more popular. I mean, look at Long Beach. Look at Compton now. I mean, here on the West Coast, I mean, Inglewood even, they really starting to move people out and build homes that people can't afford. Same thing in Philly, where I'm from. It's the same situation. They're starting to price people out of certain areas, because now, today, those areas are more beneficial to them economically. So they can use eminent domain to come in there and kick you out your house and build something nice there, because they're going to be building a hotel or casino nearby. So, I mean, if you don't own your house, if you don't own something, I mean, we are slowly being pushed out. And the same thing that happened, you know, in the 60s, when they pushed us in these projects and pushed us in these black neighborhoods and areas, it's going to happen again. And we're going to find ourselves in a location that's worse than the ghettos we came from. And we got to pay attention and start looking at that. So we actually have to look at the fact that since the 60s and since integration, the decline of black businesses in the black community, which is why I talked about this earlier, we have to really look at that and see this as a shot, as an attack, as them using us to fuel their economic gain, to stabilize their economy while at the same time destroying ours. Since integration and desegregation, black businesses have been on a decline. You see the state of the black economy today, and we got to look at it and say that, us coming from out of the black community to where we are today, to spending, almost $1 trillion a year on their companies while we have, very few of our own, is the reason why we are in this situation. We got to really understand that they are not going to pass any bills, any laws that's going to help black people come from out of the black community. They're not going to pass any laws that's going to give us more money to help us rival them. So unless we do it ourselves, unless we grow up and understand we have to open our own companies and build our own economics, we are not going to get where we need to be. So this is my quick little video, and it's not like I have to really tell black folks about the economic situation in the black community. We all know about it. We live it. We are aware of it. But it needs to be brought more to the attention of African Americans about the state of the black community. And we need to really more engage and talk about the situation more, because we are the future and our children are the future. And we are now if you close to my age, I'm 34. If you're younger than me or in that bracket, you are now in a position where you are in your careers, or you're in school, or you're growing towards your final career, or you're already investing in things and stuff like that. So the trajectory of your life, the position, the road that you're heading towards now should be going towards something that's going to benefit not just you and your family, but the African American community as a whole. You should be, racing towards success as far as your own business or company, or instilling those thoughts into your children and telling them, hey, don't be working for this man or working for this, and then you look up and you're 65 and you ain't did nothing but work for the white man your whole life, and you get a small little pension. And what kind of life is that? You're 65 and you still got to work, some people. Or you don't have enough money to live successful. At 65, I want to be balling. I want to be stinking rich and not have to worry about money. You got to put yourself in a position to do that. And as I talked about in the previous video, I was talking about life insurance, doing what the Jews do, how they take out life insurance policies on their parents and grandparents and stuff like that. So when they pass, they have crazy money. We got to do stuff like this. You got an elderly grandmom or mom or a situation like that, pay the money. You're going to pay your cable bill. That's about $200 a month. Phone bill and all that. It's the same thing for life insurance. Pay that little $150, $200 a month. Keep paying it if it's for 5 years, 10 years. 5 years, 10 years from now, you can have $200,000, $1 million in your bank account when a loved one passed. And it's crazy that we are not doing this. This is how they are building wealth. Imagine that if you have a whole community of Jewish people who have life insurance policies out on loved ones, when they pass, not only does that wealth that they died and left pass on to them, but you have a policy now in place to where they can get the policy as well, and that's more wealth. So if you take one African American community, and if everybody in that black community took out a life insurance policy on a parent, when their parents die, because they all probably within that same age bracket, when they die, you're talking about a black community that's coming from poverty, and now because of this life insurance policy, boom, they all, upper middle class, or they can now afford to open a business, or they can afford to buy a house and own that house. You just generated, you just basically changed the whole community. Everybody now, within the next 10, 20 years, 5, 10, 20 years, is going to be in a situation where they're doing well. And then from that, now you have a foundation where you're starting off with wealth, with a nice chunk of change. And from that, your kids is going to come from a nice home with money, a successful situation. And then from there, it's going to keep growing. This is how they grow their communities. We are not doing that. Somebody died and it's an argument about their TV in the black community. Oh, who going to get their car? Who going to get the little, $3,000 in the bank account? Who going to pay for the funeral? We argue instead of saying, you know what, it's taken care of, it's done. And then now I have the money from the insurance policy to take care of my family and put us in a situation that's out of this ghetto to in a situation where I can go to college, I can pay for them to go to school, and we can build something now as a family because we were smart enough to take out the life insurance policy. I know that whole situation is something that's touchy and it's crazy, and it's like nobody want to deal with that whole death situation, but you got to be smart about it. You got to be grown up about it. When somebody passes, and it's a chance for you to actually build wealth from it. I mean, come on. It's taking something good out of a tragic situation, out of a bad situation, and using it to better your life. I guarantee you, if I pass, you know, my son, my sister and brothers and them and everything like that, because they have life insurance and all that, is going to be upset. But at least it's money that's left behind to where they can still be successful, and now have to just deal with the pain of my passing, but they can also now build wealth and success from it. You know, it's something that, you know, we have to really take into consideration. It's not even something we got to take into consideration. It's something you have to do because they're doing it and they're getting wealthy. And it's something that I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, I came into some money because a loved one passed. You know, and we are never the beneficiaries of these situations, and we need to start to be, and it's something we need to do. But I don't want to get into it too deep. You already know the situation. It's more videos I'm going to get into about economics. But I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this video. I have the DVD coming out. Please purchase the DVD. The whole purpose of the DVD is so that I can get my book out. I want to actually buy the copies. I want to publish, self-publish. I don't really want to go through nobody. I want to buy the actual books and get them in stores, but it's a steep price for that. And you know, it's north of 10 grand to get the many copies that I want to put out and have them sold in stores. But the good thing is, if we sell a certain amount in like Amazon or Barnes and Nobles and stuff like that, you know, they'll buy books from you then. You know, if you sell like 3,000, I think it is. So what I want to do is I really want to get these books printed on my own and put in stores, not just in America, but overseas as well. And hopefully, you know, generate some feedback off of the book. Because I believe this book is a good book. But I want to thank you guys for watching. It's hot as a mug out here. I wanted to come outside and shoot this joint in a different location because it's so nice. And yeah, I mean, it's California. I mean, look at the background. You got city over here, and you know, I haven't been in California, you know, since film school, and it was cool to move out here and see some of the things that's out here, and it's banging out here. I'm up here right near the Hollywood sign. You can actually hike up there to it. I was actually going to go. It's so crowded. There's too many people here. I was going to actually hike up there and try to film on top of the Hollywood sign because it's a good view. I'll probably do that with another video and try to get different locations. You know, I've been sitting in my studio in my house in most of the videos, and I want to try to get around town because, you know, California is beautiful, and try to shoot at different locations. And the people have been cool and not walking through recording and stuff like that. People have been walking behind, in front of the camera and everything like that, so not in the way. So it's been cool. It's not bad. And it's a lot of little gecko things running around out here, I can say that. But I don't want to be out here too late because I know they got mountain lions and things like that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys next video. And don't forget, pick up the DVD. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate your guys' support and being behind me and everything that I've been doing on this whole journey. A lot more to come. Thanks for watching.